Alright, let's dive into this story, but I'm gonna warn you. It's one of those situations where you can't help but think about the ripple effects of a single moment. So, here's the deal. A rural farmstay in Australia, Hidden Camp, has shut down after a tragic incident at a rave. A 40-year-old man, Trenton Airhorn, fell to his death during the event, and now the venue is closed indefinitely. But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just a story about a closure, it's about the collision of community, business, and tragedy. First off, Hidden Camp isn't your typical venue. It's an off-grid, farm camping experience nestled in the bushland between Maryborough and Gympie. Personally, I think places like this are a breath of fresh air in a world that's increasingly commercialized. They offer something raw, something authentic. But that authenticity comes with risks, especially when you're hosting events like raves. What many people don't realize is that these kinds of venues often operate on thin margins, both financially and logistically. They're not corporate giants with safety nets, they're families pouring their hearts and savings into a dream. Now, let's talk about the rave itself. It was called Rhythm of the Wild, which, if you take a step back and think about it, is almost poetic in its irony. The wildness of the event ended in tragedy, and that's something that's going to haunt the owners and the community for a long time. The fact that it was an unlicensed event raises a deeper question. How do we balance freedom and safety? I mean, raves are supposed to be about letting go, about embracing the moment, but when things go wrong, the consequences are devastating. What makes this really interesting is the owner's response. They've closed the venue, citing planning and development issues, which, in my opinion, is probably a polite way of saying they're reevaluating everything after this tragedy. They've also cancelled all bookings and issued refunds, which is a huge financial hit. If you think about it, this isn't just a business decision, it's a personal one. Hidden Camp is their home, their livelihood, and now it's tied to a tragedy. That's a weight no one should have to carry. One thing that immediately stands out is the community's reaction. The owners mentioned their neighbors and the wider Glenwood community, which suggests this isn't just a local story, it's a communal one. Tragedies like this don't just affect the people directly involved, they ripple outward. From my perspective, this is a reminder of how interconnected we all are, even in rural, off-grid places. Now, let's talk about the legal side. A 33-year-old man was taken into custody, but no charges have been laid yet. This raises another question. Who's ultimately responsible? Is it the organizers? The venue owners? The attendees? Personally, I think it's a complex web of accountability, and it's going to take time to untangle. What this really suggests is that we need better frameworks for events like these, ones that prioritize safety without stifling the spirit of community and freedom. If you take a step back and think about it, this story is a microcosm of bigger issues. It's about the risks we take in pursuit of joy, the fragility of small businesses, and the impact of tragedy on communities. A detail I find fascinating is how the owners framed the closure as temporary, saying they look forward to reopening. That's a powerful statement of resilience, but it's also a huge if. Will the community welcome them back? Will they be able to rebuild trust? In my opinion, this story isn't just about a venue closing, it's about the human cost of tragedy and the resilience it takes to move forward. It's a reminder that every decision, every event, has consequences that stretch far beyond the moment. So, here's my closing thought. How do we create spaces that allow for freedom and joy while ensuring safety? It's a question that doesn't have an easy answer, but it's one we need to keep asking. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.